Okay, well, hello, welcome back to the channel. Today we are reviewing In the Heights, very laid back, casual kind of review. And this is also starting an unofficial new segment called Musicals with Midun because it's alliterative and I like that. And we both like musicals. When we talk about Les Mis, there'll be a lot of nostalgia for that because we're both in the production of it. So that's great. But I had an idea for every video we film that's a musical thing, we have to sing a song together that's from that play. But seeing as we're on Zoom, it's not going to be synced very well. So we're both just going to give our best rendition of Morning Usnavi.
Okay, you didn't tell me about this one.
But let me put it on speaker view so they can see you in the door.
Should I do it in the way he did it or just say
Just
it?
any way you want.
Okay, I'll try and replicate how he did it. Good morning, Usnavi.
I like that. Very good, very good. I see the modulation, is that the word? I don't know. Okay, right, let me try it. Oh God, okay. Good morning, Usnavi. Did it go up at the end?
It might be.
When I heard that, like him singing that in the trailer, that was a bit like, I'm gonna like this because that's
the bit in the trailer that I loved was definitely Beatrice doing my mom is the
it's a shame because like that was so cool and I was ready to see a lot of that, but that's like the main bit she has, I would say.
Yeah,
it's like I want, because she was great, like in Brooklyn Nine-Nine she's like this, and everything else she's in she's just
so
yeah, and I want to see more from her, but she was, you know, her inclusion was great. I'm looking at this picture, there's the guy in the Puerto Rican shirt and it's basically Captain America. What were your, I mean, have you seen the stage play or do you know anything about it?
I know a lot. I haven't actually seen it and I want to. I was planning on watching it after the lockdown, but I know quite a bit about it, and I've thought overall I loved it. I've seen quite a few movie musicals over the past couple of years, or just not even say over the past year since lockdown started, because I had to be inside, and that has to be one of my favorites. Anyone who's watched The Prom on Netflix?
I have seen that actually. Only thing I didn't like about that film was how she got like 1 million views in an hour, and as a YouTuber that makes me mad, but we'll ignore that.
But in my opinion, this was 5,000 times better. Specifically, what I like to know, there's one number called 96,000, and they film it by a pool.
Yeah.
And there's a bit where they do something with the dynamics, where they go underwater and it goes like softer. And
the
when
audio.
It was that was perfection. Oh, that was so good. That was clean.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen because I like a couple of weeks before seeing this, I knew it was Lin Manuel Miranda, but then I learned a bit more about the play. Like this was his first full-length musical, I believe. Sort of like what got him a bit known, and then Hamilton obviously made him blow up. And I think I haven't seen the stage version, but the adaptation of like into a film, because it's not just like them filming people singing, there's actual camera work, there's interesting ways to, like they do the walking on the building scene with Nina and Benny. So Usnavi he's in Hamilton, isn't he? He's
Anthony Ramos.
Yeah. With the bit where they reveal how he got his name, this was very funny. There was actually a lot of funny things in this, and that was one of the funniest moments, I think, US Navy.
So one little like kind of cute funny thing that I liked was of course, so Christopher Jackson, who was in Hamilton as well, who played Washington, and Lin Manuel Miranda, they had their own little thing in a song called Piragua. The reprise, like in the actual stage musical, the reprise, which was the post-credit scene, is actually part of the musical, but instead they made it part of the post-credit scene.
Okay.
And I just liked those little, because it's not necessarily integrated in the actual plot, but it's just like a little separate thing, and I really like that. And then for any Hamilton fans, there was a little Hamilton reference, if you realize, when Kevin was on hold, You'll Be Black,
the ringtone,
and I was very excited to see it. I was very happy.
And you told me that your cinema had no reaction to that, whereas people in mine, because there was quite a few, that I could tell there were a few like musical theatre nerds in the screening, and then everyone just went, "Oh, it's how." I had to explain to my mom, "Yeah, this is from his other play." I loved it. There's a lot whenever Lin Manuel Miranda was on screen, it was very like wink to the audience fan servicey, like the creator's here, he's getting his own song, his own scene. And I like that. It was kind of a bit self-aware in a way. And then Edgar Wright, who's a film director, he posted this picture of a chalkboard with lots of films that were showing, and it said whether it had a post-credit scene or not. So I sent that to you, and then we both knew we had to stay for the post-credit scene.
Yeah, I'm glad I did. But I think it was quite nice to see Lin Manuel. I can't do it either.
I know, right?
Lin Manuel Miranda sing, because I've watched Hamilton many times and listened to the playlist so many times. But most of the time he's rapping, and he has one song in Hamilton where he sings, but it's not even that high. But Piragua, which is the song he sings in the Heights, it was nice. I really enjoyed seeing him sing a little more.
I've heard one YouTuber who does movie reviews say that Lin is always the worst singer in the musicals he writes. Do you have anything to comment? I mean, has he done many more than this in Hamilton, like full length?
I'm only fully aware of In the Heights and Hamilton.
Okay, but do you think is?
He's definitely more of a rapper, and he knows this, which is why, like, because he wrote Hamilton for him. And anyone who plays Hamilton, they've gone into musical theatre, and they probably can sing very, very well, and we'll be able to use that. Because there's only one song in Hamilton where he actually sings, and that's called Hurricane, and it's not a particularly difficult song to sing. It's only because what's happening at the time in the musical, it shouldn't really be rapped, it should be sung.
Yeah. I think, and I have to rewatch Hamilton at some point, because, I mean, I did like it, I like the songs and everything. At the moment, I kind of prefer In the Heights, and I know to most Lin Manuel Miranda fans are gonna be like, what, Hamilton? I think I like the story a bit more modern day. I found it more interesting, and I like the vibe of this film. Like, we're just going into summer now, and this is a very summery kind of film. I mean, even the power breaks, and then it's very hot and everything, and it's very, very summer, very celebratory and just upbeat. I mean, there's a very when the grandma, I don't know what the name for it is.
Abuela Claudia.
Abuela, that's it. When she dies, and they handle it very well, like this in a sort of dance in her head. Like you could just hear whispers in my whole screening going, oh no, she did. It was a much more reactive audience than I would have expected. But
but that entire death scene, that has to be one of my favorites. I'm actually gonna have a conversation about this with my other friend, because anyone who's watched Hamilton, there's a song called "It's Quiet Uptown," which is probably the saddest point in Hamilton. And
what happens in that one? Just remind me.
That's when Philip, who is Hamilton's son, dies.
Oh yeah, okay.
But I just think the way they directed this was so good. But first of all, her song, which is called Paciente y Fe, I think. Yeah, that's it.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
It's just so creative the way they did that. And then the song after, which is called Alabanza, where literally the entire city gathers around with candlelight. It's beautiful. I loved it.
And she's also just this sort of light bumbling presence throughout the film, but then when she gets her solo song, she just out of nowhere does this really great vocal performance. You're like, whoa, okay. Yeah, that's one thing, because I've actually I only watched it yesterday, and I've talked to a few people who are massive musical theatre fans who've watched it. And one thing we were able to agree with is that while we love this, when we're comparing it to the actual stage musical, there are a few things which had less emotional impact. There are two things that come to mind. One is this whole Abuela Claudia, what happened. So her solo, in the actual stage musical, it happens earlier. That way you get to know the character a bit more, and you get to like her more. And therefore her death there's less build up to her death. It's more sudden, and you're like, whoa, I just fell in love with her 15 minutes ago, and now she's dead. Whereas to this one, it was pretty obvious she was gonna die, and then it kind of felt like all our love for the character was only built seconds before, minutes right before she died. Which is it's okay. And then another one that happened was Benny and Nina. So Nina was the one that their arc was really thinned out. If you ever end up watching an actual stage musical, a lot more time is focused on Benny and Nina and their relationship, and Benny as a character. A lot of that didn't happen in it. But overall, compared to other adaptations, I think this was a really, really well. I think it's like a 2 hour 20 film, and they managed to do quite a lot in there. Have you seen Crazy Rich Asians?
I've been meaning to watch this for a very, very long time. I've seen like clips, but I haven't entirely. But I know the director was the same, wasn't it?
Yeah, John M. Chu, I believe his name is. He did the and it's like when you're combining the music of Lin Manuel Miranda and Crazy Rich Asians is this big story about, you know, this East Asian culture with large families and how they react. And so when you get that guy to do something but with Latinos or Hispanic people, then it seems like the perfect guy to bring in. And I think yeah, the shots were really good. And then Gregory Diaz, the fourth is in his name. So he was in a film that came out last Halloween called Vampires versus the Bronx, which I watched with my friends, and it's similar, set in, you know, this area with, like, you know, Latino people and similar not premise, sorry, but similar community aspects. And he was great in that, and then he was great in this, where he starts off as the sort of, you know, the child, the guy they kind of poke fun at, but then in 96,000 he has this, I can't remember if it was a rap or singing, but he has this his big solo, and they're like, okay, so everyone has talent here. Like sometimes they hide it for a bit and then they just have someone do a solo in the song and bring it out, and it's really great. And then this girl floats over to him on like a pool float and then says, oh.
I really like that bit. He even did like some kind of like, he did like some tutting dance in the pool, and the way they really used the water, and it was just so well 96,000 was just, I loved it so much.
And also because you think, how do you film a musical? Like, do you have the music playing there? Do you have the actors dub themselves with auto-tuned versions? It must be really hard. Then also the syncing, because every little movement with the keys with shutting the door is synced with the music perfectly, and it's just so satisfying to hear it like that. Like every time they smash the water down, it's I don't know how they do it.
Speaking about how they've done this, you know, When the Sun Goes Down, which was the duet between Benny and Nina.
Yeah, on the building.
I've seen that in so many different TV shows and movies, and I will never know how they do it. Like, I know obviously they make that the floor, but
how do they transition?
I just don't get it. I'll never get it.
I'm wondering how much green screen was actually used here, because there wasn't much CGI. It's not a CGI kind of film. I think when the ribbons are coming down the building, and then also there's a bit where when they find out the lottery is for 96,000, they have like these white animations coming on screen, something. So that was good. And there was like a couple film reference in there. I felt, I understand these.
The only noticeable one green screen that I really captured was in that same one where they're climbing up the building, right before that, when they're on the balcony, it's very clear there's a green screen there. Of course.
Yeah, but otherwise it's nice to not have so many, like a lot of practical effects. Not that there's much stunt work or anything, but it's nice. Do you have a favorite song at the moment?
See, I'm programmed to love 96,000, but there's one song Nina sang, which is when you first hear her, called Breathe, about how like she's dropped out of college and all that kind of stuff. And I really love it. And the way they directed it as well, with like young Nina running around. And there's one bit where like every single beat is just, I love Breathe. I really love Breathe. I'm
currently tied between 3, and we might make a video talking about our favorite songs, so we might have a better answer at some point. But In the Heights, obviously, 96,000, and I can't remember the name, but the power outage one. Doing the fireworks, Blackout.
There's like so many different songs there.
Yeah, and it's kind of hard to say with these sung through musicals. Well, it's not completely sung through, but where one song starts and ends.
There was another song that I did like. It was called No Me Diga, and it went like, "Tell me something I don't." With has Stephanie Beatrice and all her people working in the salon.
That had very tell me more vibes.
Yes, I was also say that had very like, I like that. I really did like it.
I can't think of a single frame in this movie where Stephanie Beatrice didn't have her tongue stuck out. Well, except for the one in my background, but she was also like,
I really like it.
You saw it before me and you said it's very How I Met Your Mother. If you guys don't know, because it's always voice, but Midun is the guy in the How I Met Your Mother videos I do. I still need to make the 3rd one. But yeah, we're big fans of the show, and then I see what you mean now, because he's telling, and that, kids, is how I found my Sunita. Is that the word? I think
something like that.
But the twist at the end where, well, first he says no dad, she says no dad, keep going. I was like, oh, okay. Him and what's her name? The girl.
You mean is Navi's girlfriend?
Yeah.
Why have I blanked her name? No, don't tell me. I do know this.
I'm gonna look
No,
it up.
I think I'm such a fake fan. No, I know this. I do know this.
Ah, of course.
No,
I won't say.
don't
I
tell
won't
me.
say it. But...
I don't know how I've blanked on it.
A few minutes later.
I'm trying to think of a lyric with the name.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Don't include
Here's
this.
a picture if you need it. If you need inspiration.
Don't include this. I have a.
Oh, I'm including this. This is gonna be funny.
Several months later.
Give me like 30 more seconds.
Thousands of tears later.
Probably been 30 seconds. Do you want me to tell you?
No. It's on the tip of my tongue. It's Vanessa.
Yes.
That's
There you
it.
go.
I was thinking Hannah, and I was like, that's not right.
That's not right.
What is it? Oh, tell me a while.
I can't remember what I was saying, but oh yeah, when the child says no dad, keep going, I was like, oh, him and Vanessa, I think that's their child. But then I don't know, you said you haven't seen the stage version.
I haven't. I've seen like I haven't fully sat down and watched.
Did you know like the twist at the end? Because I thought that was pretty clever how they did that, where he wasn't actually on the beach. It was just his Swanito was at home.
Yeah, no, I like that bit. I haven't. I've watched certain numbers done.
Right.
So I've watched 96,000 performed on a stage, like on YouTube.
Okay.
But I haven't watched the musical on.
Is it on YouTube? Or...
I'm sure you can find some bootleg. You can find a bootleg of anything.
That's true. Benny, was he in Hamilton?
He wasn't in Hamilton.
I recognize him from somewhere.
Oh yeah, I recognize him too. One thing I realized is that he performed the role very, very well. But I don't know. Did he look a bit old, a lot older than Nina? For me, it looked a bit. Maybe it's just me. I just felt like there was a massive age gap.
He was in Kong Skull Island. I think that's where I know him from. Apparently, he was in Iron Man 3.
Just watched that. So.
In your head, isn't that where you enter the MCU? Iron Man 3.
What character did he play?
I'm looking at the card, Navy Op. So clearly not a big part.
Yeah, that's probably why I don't remember. The woman who played Abuela, Claudia, she's the one that originally played it in the original Broadway version, and she got a Tony for that role.
Wait, so she played the grandma or the aunt? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And in the original stage, was Lin Manuel Miranda? Was he Usnavi or?
He was Usnavi. That's why you realize Usnavi doesn't sing high that much. Because
oh yeah, I noticed it was like the men would be like rapping, this deep stuff, and then the girls come on like my voice can't get the hype. But yeah.
Christopher Jackson, who played Washington and Hamilton, and had a little cameo in one of the songs. He played Benny, the one played by the guy. Yeah, Ben. You know Benny is.
Sorry, who's
Christopher Jackson, who played Washington and Hamilton.
I don't remember what he looks like, but
you know the guy that was in Piragua with Lin Manuel Miranda in the song Piragua.
What, the ice cream? Let me look it up.
Yeah, the ice cream guy.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's him. Yes. Yeah. I recognize him now. His face.
He was in Hamilton, and he originated the role of Benny.
What do you mean he? Oh, was he? Oh, he was Benny.
He was the original Benny.
It's like this Lin Manuel Miranda connected universe thing. Okay. Speaking of other Lin Manuel Miranda musicals, technically Moana. And I love the music from that film and the music here. And you clearly have thoughts on this, so.
I like it. I just don't like the movie. I like the music.
That's fair enough. That's actually my favorite sort of 3D animated Disney film. Lion King, #1, but out of the newer films, the 3D.
Okay, what counts as newer?
Well, as in post 2000s, I would say, and just one that isn't 2D animated. Because I'll say like Wreck-It Ralph and Zootopia are still, they're up there.
Does Pixar count?
No, I mean just Disney. If it was Ratatouille and Toy Story 3 and Toy Story 3
Thank you.
far above Moana, don't worry, but yeah.
Wreck-It Ralph is probably in my top 3 for just Disney.
Right, yeah. I can't remember if I put Zootopia or Wreck-It Ralph above in my video.
Live actions count.
I was just talking animation, but what if you talking live action?
Okay, I'm gonna say something, and it killed Rafi yesterday. We had an entire argument about it. Hot take: Aladdin, the live action, I prefer to the original. I said it. I'm not taking it back.
I thought you were just gonna say you liked it.
No, you don't like it.
No, I do, but I thought you maybe thought that was controversial. But then you said you preferred it. I
prefer it to the original. I think there are as a whole. I'm not trying to say like Will Smith did an amazing job as a genie. They finally gave Jasmine more of a character. She got Speechless, which is a freaking amazing song.
I agree with that.
They did Prince Ali. They did it better. I'm sorry, they did it better.
That's fair enough. That is fair enough. I've never had much nostalgia for Aladdin. I've only seen it a couple of times, and I've seen the remake twice. And I think some of the scenes are good, but then A Whole New World is much less magical than the animated version.
Yeah.
I probably prefer the animated. I think Jungle Book is the only time I like the remake more. Now with Jungle Book, the music is the best and worst aspect. We trailed off from In the Heights, but the music is the best and worst aspect because they have like this remastered version of the bare necessities that they use, this big epic orchestral version. That's good. But the singing in that film, oh boy. The singing in the live action Jungle Book is, I'm sorry. Bill Murray and Christopher Walken. Scarlett Johansson's good because she can actually sing. No, I really enjoyed In the Heights. It was kind of the perfect, the film I expected to get. I got that and it was very satisfying. I loved it. Do you have a score out of 10 for it?
Score out of 10?
Yeah. I mean, I'll say what mine, because I rated it on Letterboxd as soon as I saw it. I gave it a 10 out of 10. And I'm very, I don't think too hard about the score. Sometimes I do, but if I just loved a film and in the moment I can't think of anything I didn't like, I just give it a 10 out of 10 because I love it. And I'm still only just under 24 hours after seeing it, still gonna stick with the 10, I think.
I think the fact that I know the original and I've seen a lot of the original, I'm gonna give it a 9.
Yeah, that's understandable.
So I like to reserve 10 out of 10 for like.
That's fair enough. I've given way too many. Let me see. Wait, they can't on Letterboxd. It says how many out of the 644 films I've seen. 644 I've seen. I think I've given 103 10 out of 10s. I haven't logged every film I've ever seen, but that's most of them.
103
10 out of 10s.
Please just say like 5 of those movies, just to see like how.
Okay, Django Unchained, About Time, Shaun of the Dead, Inglourious Bastards, Civil War, Jojo Rabbit, First Avengers, Rango, Infinity War and Endgame, Shrek 2, Ratatouille, Snyder Cut, Whiplash, Baby Driver, Lego Movie, Lion King, Shrek, Spider-Verse, Social Network, Hot Fuzz, Guardians of the Galaxy, Hangover, Wolf of Wall Street, The Dark Knight, Inception, Megamind, Interstellar, Kung Fu Panda, Prisoners, Toy Story 3, Deadpool, How to Train Your Dragons, did I say that? I don't know. Palm Springs, Snatch, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Moana, Monsters Inc., The Incredibles, Knives Out, Back to the Future, Inside Out, La La Land, Coco, Zootopia, The Breakfast Club, The Gentleman, and then that's where it stops out of my favorites.
There are a few there that I think deserve 9 out of 10.
It's fair enough. Have you seen La La Land?
Okay.
Because it's on our list.
If I start, I won't stop for 20 minutes. So
it's on our list.
I haven't, but I want to. Yes. I can't wait to do music. I'm looking forward to doing music.
Yeah. So you will see
that.
Oh,
In the Heights. I forgot to say In the Heights. The dancing, just as an entire.
Oh yeah, the choreography and the actual dancing stuff.
Amazing.
It's brilliant.
Everything.
Well, I guess that just about wraps it up. 10 out of 10 from me, 9 out of 10 from Midun. Might be doing a top 5 songs if we can choose. You heard our rendition of Good Morning Snobby. So thank you for watching. If you've seen In the Heights, let us know what you think about it in the comments. I know a lot of people loved it and some people weren't too keen on it. But let us know what you think. Thank you, Lynn, for doing this. I like roping my friends into videos. So yes, any closing thoughts or concerns you wish to put forward?
I'm trying to think of like a quirky joke I can make about the name In the Heights.
Or you could just end with Ted and Robin shouldn't have ended up together.
They shouldn't though. They shouldn't have. If they really wanted that ending, they shouldn't have broken up Barney and Quinn. They should have just made Barney and Quinn have their wedding in season 9 and have like Robin with someone else, and then they can break up and they can still have the ending. I understand they recorded that, they recorded it at the very beginning, but there's a way to not be. Just end the video. End the video. End the video. I'm gonna get.
And with that, this is After Credits, a place to review, rank, and react to movies with you.